Welcome to Candid Conversations with Candidates, sponsored by Crow Wing Power in partnership with the Brainerd Lakes Chamber and Lakes Media Collaborative. I'm Steve Mao with Brainerd General Rental representing the Chamber. Joining me today is Monty Jensen, and Monty is a write-in candidate for Crow Wing County Commissioner, District 1. Monty, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome. Now, the beginning of this gives you an opportunity to share a couple minutes with the folks and learn a little bit more about you, so I'll turn it over to you.
Okay. My name is Monty Jensen. I live in Crow Wing Township and falls within District 1 of Crow Wing County. And I'm running as a write-in candidate, and so to require folks to fill in the oval and write in my name. Feel that I'm best qualified for the position because I'm a small business owner. I've worked both in government and private sector in management and financial roles, budgetary, so forth. Worked as an appropriation law analyst where I analyze the appropriations bill that Congress puts into place. So I have extensive experience into auditing and making decisions based on government spending and how it's established. So that's one of my good assets that I'm bringing to the position. Also, like I said, I've served in a number of management positions, small business owner, and I think that we need to focus on a number of things. Our county has been in dire straits, and the status quo has gotten us there. And we need to start looking at how we can stabilize taxes, not just cut, but we need to look line by line item, cut, and then stabilize them. That way folks can know what to expect for years to come with their house payments, as that affects them, retired folks that are on fixed income, so forth. We need to ensure that they know what to expect year after year, along with business owners. If they know what to expect, then they know how to project, plan, maybe hire new employees, whatever it is. But when we have fluctuations like we did this last year of 27%, it just does not work, and people can't prepare for that. So we need to look at that. Another thing is we need to look at our economic state. We need to focus on making our county business friendly to create new jobs here. I don't believe government has a role in creating jobs, but I believe that they have a role in making sure ordinances, taxes, things like that don't interfere with new businesses starting up or their success in hiring new employees and expanding. Another area I think we need to look at is really, is the county determining want versus need when they're spending? That is a huge area that I've personally looked into at the county. I went through a number of their individual expenses, and they just concerned me. The expansion of the sheriff's department, the associations that they claim we're getting representation when we spend money on these different associations. I don't believe that's happening because here we are with our unemployment rate, with our businesses that are struggling, property taxes going up. If we're getting true representation from these dollars going outside of the county, I don't see it with our results and our percentages and numbers. Another thing we need to look at keeping our money here. So when the county does have money to spend, we need to focus on keeping that with businesses in Crow Wing County. And I want to see a policy put in place where if there's fair competition among businesses in Crow Wing County, that we keep it here between those businesses. Now, we're not going to establish a monopoly, but if there's businesses that provide the same services or goods in the county, multiple ones that can bid on these contracts, they need to have an opportunity to do that and keep our business local.
Okay. So Monty, looking at those different areas, do you have a top priority, or there's a number of different issues that you raised there? Is there a single priority that you'd like to focus on if elected?
Well, top priority is of course we've got to cut out all the fat in the taxes, figure out want versus need of these different departments and areas of the county, and then we need to stabilize them. We need to come up with accurate projections so that we don't see increases like personally I saw 27% last year in my property taxes. So that's quite a surprise when you open that bill.
Yeah.
And I don't know a business that I've ever been involved with that can have increases like that. And I know that a huge part of that was the school referendum, but I believe it was like something like 12%. I'm not exact on that, but it was somewhere around there. Still, 15% is too high for businesses, homeowners, and so forth to see that kind of increase.
Okay. Now, budget priorities, obviously budget challenges, you referenced that a little bit in your opening talk there, and obviously federal, state level, there's always budget challenges. How do you prioritize those budget needs, and who pays for them?
Well, the first thing is we've got to look at something I don't believe most counties have looked at for a long time, is mandates that come down from federal and state government. And we need, I believe local government is our first line of defense for the citizens. And if they're not aware of these different mandates, or even if they are, if they're not taking action, going down, speaking before committees, telling residents how to contact their state legislators and how these different mandates affect them, we don't even have control of our budget until we have real representation at the local level addressing these mandates. So that's one of the first areas we need to look at. Then we need to look at these associations, the expansion, like the Sheriff's Department stuff, that we just plain can't afford because the folks can't afford that right now. And I'm not saying that they may not be needed. They may be needed, but we need to pick a better time and place.
Okay. You indicated that you wanted to make sure that Crow Wing County was business friendly. I think that was a term that you used.
Absolutely.
How does Crow Wing County do that?
Well, one, we've got to be mindful of the ordinances we've been passing. I know that the land use ordinances that affect a lot of the construction industry. I own a small business that's in the trades. And I've seen it affect a lot of the peers and so forth that I've done work with. And so when we're doing different ordinances and things like that, we need to make sure that they're business friendly. We need to get input from businesses. We need to make sure we're not stepping on somebody. Government makes so much red tape sometimes, businesses can't even follow to do the correct procedures. I just dealt with this the other day with a city in the Twin Cities. I'm not here to call out names or anything, but they were quoting me on state statute and so forth, and we couldn't do business that way. And then I quoted them back. I had already checked out everything with the Department of Labor and Industry, and then it comes back. We have to go back to the Department of Labor and Industry, get an email that shows exactly what the statute is. It turns out they were wrong. It cost me 8 hours before we finally could start doing work in that area.
Okay.
We need to be mindful of that. The laws, statutes, and how we do processes at the local level have gotten so cumbersome that they can't even provide a service to us, and it hurts the small business.
Do you see any opportunities working with other community partners that may make the job of being Crow Wing County Commissioner more effective?
Absolutely. That's one of the keys. And one thing, as I've been out knocking doors and meeting people and so forth, constituents, one of the things I've promised all of them is that I will hold town hall meetings when elected. I said I will hold quarterly ones. I'll rent out different town halls on my own dime in different townships and spread it out so that everybody has access. And I will hold a personal town hall meeting separate from theirs, just me and whoever wants to show up and address that. I will have a website up with all my contact information and how they can get a hold of me, and they will get a call back from me immediately. They deserve that, or an email. And I have no problem addressing public groups or putting it in writing if that's what they want, because they deserve a straight answer that they can hold me to.
Okay.
And so it's key that we work with those folks.
We got a couple seconds left here. Any final thoughts that you want to share with the audience before we let you go?
I think it's just key that we stop going with the status quo. We get someone that understands what's really going on and that's a neighbor to the folks in District 1 and that will represent them. And that's what I'm here to do. So.
Okay. All right. Well, we want to thank our guest again today. That's Monty Jensen. He is a write-in candidate for Crow Wing County Commissioner, District 1. So we also want to thank our audience for joining us for candid conversations with candidates. Visit these and other interviews and our online voting guide at votebrainerdlakes.com. That's votebrainerdlakes.com. And please remember to vote on November 6th.